Hi everybody, Rappity Rabbit here, coming to you from Times Square in the heart of Midtown Manhattan. For over a century, this famous intersection of Broadway and 7th Avenue has been known as the crossroads of the world, where we ring in every new year, attracting visitors from all over to the bright lights, theater, movies, dining, and shopping. Throughout its history, Times Square has undergone continuous change, its fortunes waving through downturns and upswings, right up to today, with the ongoing redevelopment that has since removed vehicular traffic from Broadway through here and opened up new pedestrian plazas. In recent years, Times Square has drawn a more animated crowd to its pedestrian plazas, made up of actual people masquerading as popular Disney and Sesame Street characters, who walk up to the throngs of often unsuspecting tourists strolling through the square and offer to pose for pictures with them or their kids in exchange for hefty cash tips. Many people who may be more accustomed to seeing the real characters at their official amusement parks are often misled to believe that their being photographed with these look-alike characters is totally free without monetary obligation. But then they find themselves in for a rude shock when the fuzzy character then starts demanding money from them if they feel they're being under-tipped or not tipped at all. Such has been the scenario here at Times Square of late, with occasional news reports of tourists getting harassed by these phony cartoon characters over tips, or even characters fighting among themselves over territory and competitive issues. This unprofessional behavior in public only harms the wholesome reputation the real TV characters are supposed to have, especially in the presence of kids. Even in the absence of any situation of conflict, these fake characters still appear in unbecoming ways, such as multiple Elmos congregating in the same spot, or any one of them lifting their heads in full view of passers-by. Some have even been accused of worse inappropriate or even illegal conduct. In other words, those who performed in this manner or venue have no affinity or respect for the characters they dress up as, and are only using them to wrestle wads of cash from the naive. The city has been responding to the public complaints about these fake characters. The police have posted signs around Times Square informing people that tipping these characters is purely optional, and as part of their routine area patrols, keeping a lid on any hustling activity. At the same time, the New York City Council is putting together a law to license character activity that would likely require background checks and wearing photo identification, along with time and location restrictions. While these pending laws hopefully will put a brake on characters hustling in Times Square, as always, the bad actors wind up ruining things for everybody else. What effect would these new laws have on folks like yours truly, who never solicit or accept tips for sharing smiles, hugs, or pictures? As you know, I've been making appearances in the Easter Parade on 5th Avenue for many years. Would I be required to obtain a character license now for that, even if I don't take money from anybody? Would I even be allowed to show up on 5th Avenue at all if characters are restricted only to Times Square? And what about my other friends who appear around town? Tenderheart Bear of the Care Bears has appeared in Times Square as part of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, as well as strolling on the sidewalk, offering absolutely free hugs and sometimes Valentines. Quickie the Nesquik Bunny is often seen around town giving away free bottles of his brand of chocolate milk. Remember, Tenderheart is a real Care Bear, and Quickie is the real Nesquik Bunny, just like I am the real Rappity Rabbit. Real characters like us, or the real Mickey Mouse in Walt Disney World, or any genuine mascot of any kind, never solicit money from any audience. As part of the city's and Times Square's efforts to regulate character activity, they reportedly have reached out to the media companies that own all the rights to the real characters that the pretenders are trying to look like for the tourists. But at this point, there hasn't been any official public response from them, nor any legal crackdown either. That brings up a significant point. Does anybody remember 20 years ago that you were able to meet the real cartoon characters here in Manhattan for absolutely free? That's right. Bugs Bunny himself alluded to this when he appeared as a guest on my show a couple of years ago, back when you could meet him daily at the flagship Warner Brothers Studio store on 5th Avenue. Similarly, a few blocks away, you could meet Donald Duck, Goofy, and other Disney stars at the World of Disney store. At either place, all guests could take pictures with the real cartoon characters without any hassles at all. But unfortunately, it was too good to last, as both stores were only open for a decade and then closed down due to business or realty issues. Even as a new Disney store later opened up right in the heart of Times Square, the stars usually do not appear there, and even if so, not for a public meet and greet. So naturally, that's when all the fake characters rushed in to fill that void in direct sight of the store. Yes, it would be nice if those movie studios brought back their flagship retail outlets to New York, but then again, maybe they were concerned that would take away traffic that would otherwise go to their theme parks. So my advice to everybody is, if you do in fact want to meet the real TV and cartoon stars, only look for them in the official places you can trust to keep them real and offer you a good experience. If you want to meet Elmo, go to Sesame Place in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. If you want to meet Mickey Mouse or any of his pals, go to Walt Disney World in Florida or Disneyland in California. If you want to meet Bugs Bunny, go to Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. If you want to meet the real Snoopy, go to Dorney Park in Allentown, Pennsylvania. If you want to meet the real Chuck E. Cheese, go to any Chuck E. Cheese's restaurant. And if you want to meet the real Rafferty Rabbit, well, just send me an email and I'll see what I can do.